Francis Ngannou has just responded to Jake Paul. You know, I kind of admire what Jake Paul is doing with his boxing career because we all doubted him when he was calling a lot of old age MMA fighters, most especially the UFC ones, those ones who has made name for themselves and has retired. At the beginning of Jake Paul's career, we all was literally bullshitting him. He fought Tommy Fury, he fought all these internet content creators, and we all at the beginning where I was one of those people that was like, what is he doing? He's only fighting those people. He's not going to fight actual boxers. And he did fight some actual boxers. He did knock out some actual boxers. Only that the difference between him and other ones is he has not fought those names we know. For example, Tyson Fury. For example, Anthony Joshua. For example, Usyk. All these names he has been calling. And we all have been bullshitting him for calling all these names because we know he doesn't stand a chance in beating those people. But recently he had this fight against Mike Tyson, which really got a lot of people pissed off, including myself, because Mike Tyson is already an old man. We're talking about Mike Tyson of 60 years. And like we said, Jake Paul hasn't fought actual young, hungry fighter boxers. So the thing got a lot of people pissed off. Not just that, the fight he has been already making since he became a professional boxer. So he actually had this fight scheduled against Gervonta Davis, which I already spoke about. If you go to my channel, you're going to see the video I spoke about it. I thought it was official. Actually, Netflix, anything they bring out is official. If they could be able to do Mike Tyson fight, there's no need of doubting this one because we all believed that fight is going to happen. They even had a face-off. They even had an interview, a press conference and everything. So we all thought it was going to be official until last week. We had the news about Gervonta Davis with the problem he has with the state police and made him cancel the potential fight between Jake Paul. And we all have already said that fight is not even supposed to happen because Jake Paul is an actual heavyweight. And Gervonta Davis is 3 or 4 times smaller than Jake Paul. The height, the weight, the power, the strength, everything is just in Jake Paul's favor. And a lot of people were like bullshitting him. The only advantage Gervonta Davis has is the quickness, is the experience of being a professional boxer. If you all know Gervonta Davis is actual good. I don't doubt him. I even didn't doubt him fighting Jake Paul in that fight because I believe he could be able to defeat Jake Paul. But the difference is the weight, and we all are like, Jake Paul is this kind of man who doesn't fight the actual people. But Jake Paul, let's be honest here, Jake Paul has already cut out all these boxers. They would love to fight him because he brings the eye. He brings the money. He's a YouTuber. He's everything. It's like he has a name which most of these boxers would love to have. But he did some crazy thing recently after that fight fell through. He first attacked Gervonta Davis, calling him a pussy and a brain damaged kind of person, and called out a name which I didn't expect. Jake Paul called out Francis Ngannou. I mean, it takes balls to call out a professional fighter, and it takes another ball to call out Francis Ngannou. We all know Francis Ngannou is the biggest, baddest motherfucker in the world at the moment. If you step into the ring with Francis Ngannou, it's like you're wishing a death. Whether boxing, whether MMA, whether whatever. And we all know Francis Ngannou doesn't joke. And Francis Ngannou saw this tweet about Jake Paul, and he didn't take it lightly. He didn't take it like something that is joke. Francis Ngannou really, really got pissed off. He answered him. He said, "Don't joke with me." He said, "I'm not one of these people you can call. Don't joke with me." And Jake Paul answered again that, he is going to knock him out the way John Jones is going to knock him out in MMA. And I haven't seen the response of Francis. And I believe where Francis is like, who is this small boy? So at the moment, it's just like the Netflix has already failed themselves. Not just failed themselves, failed Jake Paul. And Jake Paul now is is desperate enough to look for this big name fighter to be able to cover up for that Netflix. And even if Francis accepts that fight, Francis doesn't even have the time to prepare, because this fight is supposed to happen in December period. Also, Francis to fight Jake Paul doesn't even need to prepare in a camp. Francis just need to train, get his cardio up, and just go into the ring and just knock him out. Although we're going to come out to say, okay, Jake Paul has already done great for boxing. Jake Paul has already faced a lot of big names. Anderson Silva, a lot of them, Nate Diaz. What else? Who else should I call? You have fought some actual boxers. But recently, he also called out Anthony Joshua, which I don't think he stand a chance of beating Anthony Joshua. He called out Usyk, which is impossible. And now he's calling out Francis Ngannou. That's some big balls. And if this could happen, I would love it. I would love, not because I want to see Francis show that boy a lesson, because I'm not against somebody who is daring to be great. Because if you look at it in a bigger picture, Jake Paul is daring to be great. Jake Paul calling out all these fighters is not for him to just make mouth or something. Jake Paul wants to have that respect. Jake Paul wants to have that respect. I know many people don't respect Jake Paul because of fighting Mike Tyson, because of all these fights he has called. When it comes to fighters he has already fought. He hasn't fought the actual boxers which we are talking about. But mind you, what this boy has done, not just for himself, for boxing as well, is tremendous. It shows that people who doesn't have a chance can stand a chance in fighting for their dreams, which is quite commendable. But calling my Francis Ngannou is just another level, and I don't think that will happen. And if that happens, I don't know if Netflix might benefit from him, but I don't know if Jake Paul will actually benefit from him. Money-wise, absolutely yes. If this become official, I don't know the amount of money that they will pay Francis Ngannou to be able to fight Jake Paul. And if they be able to pay that money, and Francis get into that training and accept that fight, and when go actual training to face Jake Paul, that fight won't even last 2 rounds. Even first round, it won't even last that. Because I know Francis Ngannou will go and just murder him. So guys, let me know what you think, man. Because Francis Ngannou coming out to answer Jake Paul felt a little bit of disrespect. And I hope the UFC called back Francis Ngannou, because currently the UFC has been the heavyweight has been in a shambolic run, It's kind of boring. John Jones begging to come back, and I just feel UFC has to bring Francis Ngannou back. I know he's having problem with the PFL, and things could go well. Things could go absolutely well, but let's be honest here. Francis Ngannou really needs UFC, and UFC needs Francis Ngannou, not him fighting one Jake Paul, who we know 100% that he doesn't have a chance. He doesn't stand a chance in facing Francis Ngannou. It's impossible. When you put Francis Ngannou and Jake Paul in one ring, it's like you're ready to see a murder scene. Guys, let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about Jake Paul's statement on Francis Ngannou, call out of Francis Ngannou, and let me know what you think about Francis Ngannou as well, response. And what do you think Jake Paul should do next? Also, what do you think the Netflix should create next? Because this kind of fights excite a lot of people. But did the actual fighters look at this like something beneficiary? I don't think so. Because if I think so, if it is true, Francis Ngannou would have fought Jake Paul. Like, comment, subscribe. I will see you in the next video. Peace.